You may have achieved a lot in your life. You may be at the very top in one or more areas of your life. But you will not stay at the top unless you are hungry to grow.
Welcome. Welcome back to the Onealien Show. Hey, it's episode 3. What do you want to do? What do you say? A little bit of time, we're diving into the mind of the Onealien. And I am your host. I am a regular guy living in this crazy world. And I happen to have a crazy mind, a complex male mind. And I do emphasize male mind because there's distinct differences from male and female minds. And that's why I've invited my females to listen. Maybe there's a little insight. Maybe there's something that you could get and say, gosh, dang it, that's why they think like that. Or, wow, I didn't even know that they thought like that. Or, hey, if I remember that, maybe that'll help me next time one of them starts to think like that. So, men, we're men. We're crazy. We're silly. We're dumb. We do stupid things. We try to be logical, but we're not logical. We are disconnected from our feelings. We try to be macho. You know, everybody tells us we have to be macho. We can't cry. We have to be strong. We have to lift everybody up. We have to be the protectors. We have to be the providers. We have to be the father. We have to be the role model. We have to be the leaders. We have to shoulder the burden. We have to make sure that we are doing what we're supposed to be doing because we're men. And men don't run the planet, but by golly, men contribute to the planet. This is the Onealien Show. That's what's coming up tonight.
Every next level of your life is going to require a next level you. Next level mindset. Next level courage.
The Onealien Show. Today, this morning, wherever you're at on the planet listening, that's what's coming up. Hey, I want to jump into some things that have been on my mind this week specifically. First and foremost, if we could just kind of send out some prayers to the Bahamas as that storm rolled through. I think all of us are floored by the damage left behind. So there's just a lot of people. There's a lot of pain, a lot of confusion, and probably struggling for hope and probably just struggling for faith. Just want to say shout out and prayers to everyone dealing with the aftermath of the Bahamas. Like to say, to those who have come to the rescue, there are a lot of organizations, a lot of groups, just a lot of really good people that have great hearts. And so when they see tragedy strike, they're heroes. They step up, they organize things. I saw a story the other day where someone had organized a website in order to help find missing people. There's thousands of names that are still missing, and saw another report where it just kind of talked about what the aftermath looks like and the damage and the buildings and the structure and the belongings and the things that's strung all over and even worse, the pools of water. They're just talking about the pools of water that are just sitting there and the sewage and the decay and all of that nastiness and how diseases and things pop up. And so, man, we just pray. We just lift up everyone who's dealing with the issue and the crisis in the Bahamas. It's like I said, it's confusing, man. It's just such a beautiful place on the planet, and it lays in waste and destruction. Many of those areas down there. So, hey, stay strong and find a way. If it touches your heart and you see something on TV, I always say, be about action. Be about action. If gives you a twinge in your spirit, or you ever see something that just doesn't sit right with you, don't just walk away and hope it gets fixed or whatever. The reason why it's catching your attention more than likely, more often than not, is because there is something that you can contribute to make that better, to be a positive influence to that situation. So always be looking for that. I know I am. Anytime I see a situation that I could help out, I was in a public area, I want to say a few days ago, and so they were having a problem. They were having a problem with a door that was locked, and with an individual that was had locked themselves in the bathroom, and they couldn't get in, and they kind of were helpless and knocking and asking for them. Obviously, the person had a condition that was preventing them from being conscious at the moment, quite honestly. But needless to say, I wasn't involved in everything going on. But, hey, I heard what was going on, overheard it, and I said maybe I could help them out. Not that I'm an expert at breaking in doors or anything like that. Let's calm down, relax. I'm not referring to a previous lifestyle or anything, but, I helped them get the door open and the services that they needed to provide for the person who was stuck in there could commence. So I saw a need. If you see a need, fulfill it. Isn't that what it's supposed to be? If you see a need anytime in your life, anytime in the daytime, anytime in your environment, whether you're involved or not, whether it concerns you or not, as in whether you are in that position to address that or not, it doesn't really matter. If you have this gift and the ability, or you have the know-how, the knowledge, if you have, sometimes it's just a smile, or sometimes it's just, just asking, is everything okay? All those things help, and that's what we're here for. So, hey, listen, we want to pray for the Bahamas and the crisis. The other thing I'll just say, everybody, please hit social media, man. I mean, help me out. Help a brother out. Just help me out. Social media. I see the views. I see some likes. I see a few comments. I'm getting some private messages and all those things. But everybody's got to understand, this is the world that we live in, the technology world that we live in. And so, man, if you take time to hear me, if you're listening to my voice right now, then that means that you have stumbled across the Onealien Show one way or the other. And so be a blessing. I appreciate you spending some time with me. So I would also appreciate if you could hit our social media. If you're on Facebook, theonealienshow.com. Find it, like it, share it, tell everybody about it. If you're on Twitter, theonealienshow.com. Find it, like it, share it, subscribe it. If you're on YouTube, guess what? TheOnealienShow.com. Yes, sir. And yes, ma'am. Yes, whoever's listening. TheOnealienShow.com. We're all over the place. So when you see it, when you hear it, when you see it, do me a favor. Just hit like. Takes a few seconds. Hit like. Leave a comment. Just leave a smiley face. Just leave a thumbs up. Leave anything. Leave a thumbs down. Hey, that was whack. I didn't really like it this week. Okay, cool. Whatever it is. And then hit share. If there's anything, if you get one thing out of this, okay, then it's worth sharing. If you've gotten one thing, then it's worth sharing, because someone else might get the thing that you got, or quite honestly, everybody's going to get something different, right? Everybody's going to get something different. That's my goal. That is really my passion. My passion is helping people. And so, I do spend a little bit of time on the microphone. I did just launch this a few weeks ago, and I went through all the ups and downs that everybody goes through when you're starting something new. When you're exposing yourself, when you're allowing people into your life, a lot of times we, especially here in America, it seems like in this day and age, we tend to be siloed. I do have hermit tendencies, is what I call it. Hermit tendencies. Meaning, there are many times when I could just stay at home. I mean, I've got everything that I need. I got, the close knit family and the kids and the loved ones, the wife, and food is there, and TV, and I just have everything I need. So I can remain isolated at times, as we all know that isolation is not a good thing. We are human beings, and so we are designed to communicate and to interact, and so that's why God gave a second person. Yeah, that's why God gave his helpmeet to the man. He didn't say you alone is good. He said, I need you to be with somebody. So say all that to say that's why I'm here. I'm here to share some time with you guys. And so I appreciate everybody who's jumping on. Hit our social media. I'm all over the place. I try to post. When I see your things, if you're a friend and I see you post something up, I try to do the same thing. I like it. I might comment if something comes to my mind, and I certainly try to share it. I got a couple different types of pages, different avenues that I can share things on, and whatever's applicable, I try to share it. I try to remember to share it. Share 4, 5, 6 things a day, right? Like 5 or 6 things a day, 10 things. They say 10. Sometimes I don't have time to do all 10, but whatever it is, I'm going to spend some time on there, and I'm going to look at what you're doing. I got a good buddy, an old high school friend. Look him up. I wish I had his thing. Right now I'm going to find it. But, man, he's like is what do you call it? Craftsman, workman. He does those types of things. He's good with his hands and good at manufacturing things. And so he built this he uses old license plates, and he designs these pictures and different designs on the pictures and things like that. So I'm going to get his information because I mentioned him right now. I know his name. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but I'm going to get his, social information, get it to you guys before the end of the show. But my point is, whenever I see him do some things, I definitely make sure that I share it. Share it on my page, share it on a couple other business pages. Why? We all want exposure. That's what it's for. That's what we're the day and age of social media exposure, right? Getting the word out, helping people by helping people. Okay. It's no longer could you call one person and just have a conversation that might have helped them out. Right now, you could have that type of conversation, that subject matter, that content. You could blast it all over in all types of people. Because don't we need help? I talked about that last week. We need help. I need help. There's a lot of stuff that I read online. Oh my gosh, that's great. That's awesome. And so things that you guys do help me. Things that I find on social media help me. Now, of course, we have the safeguards. There is plenty of nonsense on social media. All of us know that, you'll get a scantily clad anything and you'll get 1 million likes and 1 million shares and 1 million views, right? Or some type of, political, hate-filled nonsense. You're going to get 1 million likes and 1 million shares and 1 million views. So I don't go down that road. I just try to speak truth. I just try to speak reality. I just try to speak really what's going on. From my perspective, it's not the correct perspective all the time. I'm not sitting here like I'm the expert and you need to listen to everything I say. But I am here saying that, hey, I've walked the road. I walked the road for 48 years, and there are some things that I do know, some things that I have learned, and there are people that I surround myself to try to learn more, always trying to learn more. And I know that some people see the value in that as well. Hey, the only thing that I really wanted to bring up from a little sports segment, obviously the big news this week was about the good old Antonio Brown. So I'm not really going to say a whole lot about his antics. What I'll say, my thought is, and I know that a couple people I spoke to kind of had the same thought, and that is, man, I'm just praying for the brother. I mean, there's some things going on that aren't quite right, and there are some, his behavior that he displays is just. It's just not good. It's not good. And so I think there's something bigger going on. But the funny thing is as he left the Steelers, everybody knows I'm a diehard Steeler fan. I bleed black and yellow, black and gold, really old school till they came out with the song Black and Yellow, but it's really black and gold, baby. But I am Steeler Nation till I die. I've been Steeler Nation for many, many years. And maybe one show I'll just share a little bit about how I became a Steeler fan. I'm a bandwagon. I did jump on the bandwagon, if you want to say that, back in the late 70s when I hopped on the bandwagon. They were winning Super Bowls. I was a young man. I was impressionable. And so I hopped on the Steeler Nation bandwagon back then. And being from Arizona, back then we didn't have any sports teams. We didn't have a professional team, right here locally. So no offense to the Cardinal fans. Hey, I get it. I like the Cardinals, but obviously I'm diehard Steeler fan. I say all that to say that when AB left, we had our ups and downs. We had a few feelings here and there, but in the end of the day, championships, they have the philosophy of the next man up. So we let him go, and good riddance, have a good time. All the antics that happened in Oakland, nonsense. All the transfer over to Patriots, nonsense. Obviously, as a Steeler fan, the last place I want to see any baller, because AB is a baller, he does have statistics, and so we could talk about his character and his mental stability, but on the football field, man, it's undeniable what his abilities, athletic abilities, natural abilities produce. So naturally, when he went to the Patriots, man, I'm livid. I can't stand the Patriots. Shout out to all my Patriot fans. Yeah, right. Jump off a cliff. No, I'm kidding. That was so. Shout out to my Patriot fans. Hey, whatever, man. You got 6. You caught up with us, and so now it's a race to 7. We'll see what happens. But anyways, point being, AB, Antonio Brown. Look. Good riddance. Goodbye. Go over there. Do your antics. Go over there. Do your antics. Hey, it might come back to haunt us in the playoffs if you're still balling. But what I will tell you, the funny thing is, when I really kind of thought about Antonio Brown, he he's almost like the crazy ex-girlfriend. That's how a lot of Steeler and the Steeler pages that I've been on and kind of all the Steeler fans have been kind of talking about. He's like that crazy ex-girlfriend where, man, wherever he lands, wherever he's at, you know, you kind of look at that dude and be like, all right, bro, yeah, she may be fine. She may be hot, but, man, oh man, good luck on that one, that guy. Good luck on that one, that guy. Good luck, right? That crazy ex-girlfriend, you see her with another dude, and I can just imagine AB at the last game as the Steelers were getting stomped. Okay, I'm a diehard fan, but I'm also a realist. All right, we got stomped on primetime Sunday Night Football. We looked horrible. Yeah, go ahead, leave a comment. We were whack. I get it. But AB was on the other sideline. I just, in my mind, I just imagined, the Steelers looking over there like, man, yeah, AB, you're a baller. You're a baller. Didn't have a Super Bowl ring, FYI. That's a side note. Did not win a Super Bowl. Lots of statistics, no Super Bowl, but that's okay. Anyways, the crazy ex-girlfriend over there on the other sideline is like, yeah, good luck, guys. Good luck. That's how I feel about AB. Crazy ex-girlfriend. Okay? You have a good time with her. Hopefully you guys are super happy, Patriots, Tom Brady. Hopefully you can sling that ball to him, do everything you're already doing. The whole circumstance was suspect. How it went down is super suspect, but that's okay. Whatever. I'm not going to beef about it because you got the crazy ex-girlfriend in your corner. So have fun. Enjoy that. That's all for AB. I know everybody's got an opinion, a sports opinion on his accolades and what he's going to bring to the team and some of the undercutting jankiness, the corruption and the shystiness of Robert Kraft, who's already in his own shysty corruption, even though he's denied it, allegedly, right? But the way things go down these days is just, man, it turns you off, quite honestly. I know a lot of people that just, man, they don't want to watch NFL. They don't want to watch NBA. They don't want to watch none of these things because supposedly they're not supposed to be like, wrestling or some of those other scripted things. But man, sometimes things happen. The whole thing from the minute there was trouble in Pittsburgh to the leaving to all the antics in Oakland to suddenly, everything's hunky dory, everything's great, and I'm in New England. I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, and this is just me, but I do believe in karma, and I do believe Antonio Brown has burnt some bridges and done some wrong things, and so we'll see. Hey, that's the Patriots. That's what they do. Man, let me think. What do I got on my mind this week? There was 2 instances this week where I visited someone and then, where I had some visitors at my house as well. And it just kind of, I was kind of chuckling a little bit, and I've heard stories or I've heard, comedians do certain sets on this type of thing. But I was thinking about when you're a visitor or when people are visiting you, there's a certain etiquette. It's that part of life, that we all have where there's unwritten rules. Like there's no manual for how to act when you're visiting someone's house or how to act when someone's visiting your house or vice versa, all that. There's no written rules. There's some certain etiquette, some certain practices that I think some of us have been taught, right? There's no manual on it, but there's some things that struck me when I was a visitor and when someone was visiting me. And so I'm asking you who's listening today, what are a few unwritten rules possibly about visiting when you're in someone else's house or when someone comes to your house? What are some of the things that may not be written down, but you've been taught, man, we just don't do that. I never used to do that. I can't do that. Or I can't believe they did that. What are some of the things? What are the rules? Let's see if we can't kind of narrow some things down and get the record straight, because I know that people act differently. People act differently when they're visiting, and people act differently when I'm visiting. The first thing, so let's look at it, right? The first question that I have for everybody listening, please give me a comment and let me know. And that's the driveway. The driveway. What is the unwritten rule about the driveway? Because when I'm going to visit somebody, am I supposed to park on the street or can I pull into the driveway? Now, I understand that some people, not understand, but I have heard both sides of the story. Some people say, hey, you're visiting somebody, you park on the street as a visitor. That's where visitors park. And, you don't park in the driveway. We may need to get out or come in or so forth and so on. And then I've heard other people say, well, look it, man, I'm coming to visit you. This is kind of where I land really when I'm coming to visit you. Typically, when I go visit people, I'm going to let you know. If there's space in the driveway, I'm pulling into the driveway. I mean, that's your property, right? I'm there to visit you, right? So why wouldn't I pull onto your property? The street technically is public property, and therefore I'm not even at your house. Okay. I'm out on the public street. So personally, I do pull in the driveways. Let everybody know. Now, party foul. If your car is a bucket and you're dripping oil, not even if it's a bucket, but if you're just dripping oil, if you're dripping any type of liquids, you should know it. If you don't know if your car is dripping liquids, go outside right now, roll around underneath your car, and then get up and see if there's anything on you. That means you're leaking something, okay? If it's not just dust and dirt and car tire marks, then you're leaking something. You should not pull into anybody's driveway ever if you're going to leak on their driveway. I get that part. I get it 100%. When you go visit somebody, do you pull into the driveway or not? Do you park on the street? When someone comes to visit you, do you expect them to park on the street or park in your driveway? Is your driveway open for anybody to park as long as they're not going to jack it up? Or do you rather them stay on the street? So that was the first thing. Visiting, unwritten rules of visitation, right? In your house. I told you, I pull in the driveways. If I'm coming to visit you, my car does not leak. And so I'm going to just go ahead and pull up into your driveway, right? Now, the funny thing is, and this is me only, so don't turn to a male or a man near you and say, what's your deal? But I don't really like people parking in my driveway. When I'm visiting you, I like to park in your driveway. If you come visit me. I don't really like anybody parking in my driveway. And probably the only thing is because it's inconvenience. Like I don't enjoy walking up to somebody and saying, hey, you know what? I need you to move your car. Now, most people, they don't mind. They're going to pop out, they're going to move the car and, we'll be on their way. But it just seems like in most activities or most events that are at my house, it seems like I'm always the one who's got to run in and out. Like I'm going to do something. We forgot oil. We need this or we need that. So, parking in the driveway, when you're parked behind the owner's vehicles, you have to either be ready to move at the drop of a dime. You can't be in a conversation. You can't be in the pool. Oh, where's my keys? Or, you can't be all of that. If you're going to park in the driveway, you have to be accessible and available to move whenever they need you to move, right? Or whenever I need you to move, right? So, parking in the driveway, that's one thing. Let me know. Do you park in driveways or not? I don't know. What's another one? Tour. So sometimes when I go to people's houses and it's the first time I've been there, it's a nice house, love the house or whatever it is. And they want to give me a tour of the house. And there's been times when people have come to my house and, we live in an upstairs, downstairs. So a lot of times, especially the first time visiting, hey, you know what? Let me show you the house. And so, what is your rule? What is your practice on tours of your house? Do you show from a distance? Do you get all the way in? Do you show them every last room? Do you kind of open up a door and say, hey, this is what it is, and then close the door? Or how do you do tours around your house? What's crossing the line? What's not enough and what is too much? I'll tell you that, me personally, I'm a little bit of a private guy. And so when we're doing a tour, there's one area where, my wife sometimes takes people into, or sometimes we've had people who have just gone right in. But the master bedroom is really kind of something that's kind of, here's the master bedroom. Like I might even point from it, the door may be open, but I'm just going to point, that's the master bedroom. Yeah, let's keep on rolling. The master bedroom, you don't need to see the master bedroom, right? You don't need to see the master bathroom on your tour. That's just me, right? The master bedroom, master bathroom, my inner space, my sanctuary, my spot. You know what I mean? You need to know that it exists, but you really don't need to know the details. That's just me. What about you? When you give tours, you give them the whole tour of the whole house? Do you slide them through the master bedroom all the way back into the master? Oh, this is my big walk-in closet over here. Isn't it nice? Man, I don't even know where I got it from, but that is like a complete and total encroachment. Like I get real uncomfortable with that. Tours for me are just perimeter. Hey, look over there. Yep, that's an extra bedroom. This is the office over there, and this is over here, and that's over there, right? That's really, for me, that's how tours are done. When you're visiting someone and they give you a tour, are you interested in looking at everything? That's the other thing. Man, I'm just an unusual guy, but man, I your house is great, love it. I mean, one bedroom is another bedroom, or one loft is another loft. Oh, I love what you did with your loft. I don't know. I'm not really interested in a whole lot of that. Like I could stand in the living room of the house and kind of get the full general layout of the whole house and say, man, yeah, this is dope, dude. Yeah, nice house. I like this. I like this house. I don't need to go room to room to room. Okay. My wife, she'll give you a tour. She'll take you room to room to room. Maybe that's just what females do. I'm not sure, but I'm good. And when you come over, if I'm the main host and you don't have a tour guide, then you will probably just get a directional pointing. So that's tours. Oh my goodness. Visiting, unwritten rules when you visit someone or when someone visits you. Unwritten rules. Where's the rule book? What do you allow? What do you not allow? What gets on your nerves? What doesn't get on your nerves? What do you feel like you have a right to do when you're visiting someone else? Right? We have the infamous bathroom. Like when you're visiting someone, how comfortable are you going to the bathroom? How comfortable are you using the restroom? I'm talking about obviously dropping a deuce. Do you go to the restroom when you're visiting someone and drop a deuce in their bathroom? Do you mind when people come and visit you if they drop a deuce in your bathroom? Hey, we're talking about unwritten rules when you're visiting somebody. Me personally, guess what? The Onealien, he doesn't drop a deuce nowhere but his own deuce dropping spot. I don't like using any, but if I'm visiting you, I must, unless I'm there for like 2-3 days, don't worry about it. I will not be in that bathroom on a long extended time. Okay. And quite honestly, when people come over, unless you're there for a certain amount of time, unless you got a stomach condition, you got the bubblies, you got something going on, then man, you can't just, that's like, I don't know what that is. That's private, or that's, I don't know what that is, but go take that, you can do that somewhere else. Bathroom. What are the unwritten rules on bathroom? When you're visiting or someone's visiting you, what do you expect? What is your policy? Right? What is your policy? One thing is, obviously, if you're going to drop a deuce, man, then you don't have to hide it. Say, man, this is what's popping off. You got some spray, you got something, man, let's help everybody out. Right? But in my house, yeah, let's not. I don't do that. I won't do that. A lot of my philosophies, personal philosophies, are things that I wouldn't do. So quite honestly, I don't necessarily, I know everybody's not like me, obviously, but I don't really want you to do things that I wouldn't do with you. I guess that's the easy way to put it. I'm not using your restroom. Yeah. Let's refrain from that unless you absolutely have to. Manners. How about manners? When you're what is proper etiquette? What manners are we supposed to have when people? And when I'm talking about manners, I'm talking about. Let me think. Recently, I had some visitors, and one of the visitors, it really doesn't matter age or anything like that, but one of the visitors was, as we're talking and conversating things, they were posted up, sitting on the edge of the couch, the arm of the couch. I understand it's comfortable. I understand, everything. I understand limited seating in some areas and this and that, but are you serious right now? Like, is that proper etiquette to go to someone's house and sit on the arm of the couch? I must be old school. I know my mama wouldn't let us sit on the arm of no couch. Plus, we just didn't sit on the arm of the couch, right? I would never, you will not. Never say never? No, I could go ahead and say never. You will not catch me at your house sitting on the arm of your couch. I just won't do it, right? That's not the proper manners. You will not see me at your house opening up the fridge even to get something to drink. Even when you tell me there's something in the fridge, pretty much me specifically, I still don't like going in. That's your fridge. That's your area. That's I don't know, until I get comfortable 2-3 times visiting her, maybe something like that. Or you say, hey, John, grab me something. If I'm getting something for you, then I might feel a little more comfortable, but I don't go in people's fridge. I've had people come over and within 10, 15 minutes, I look over and the fridge is open. Like, what are you looking for? Like, whoa, hold on, stop. What's going on? Kindly close that. And what do you need? If you need something, I'm happy. I'm a host. I'm happy to get it for you. What do you need? What you don't need to do is open up any of my fridge or my cabinets, right? Unless you know me like that. And typically, if you're visiting and you don't know where something is, so you're looking for it in the fridge or in the cabinets, that means that means you shouldn't be in there. That's just me. Manners. What other manners? Sitting on the arm of the couch, sure. Helping yourself in the, looking around in the fridge or the kitchen. What other manners? What other unwritten rules or things that I would never do at your house? I would never, this is a man thing, probably, but I would never, sit in your special chair. Like a lot of men, I'm not going to say every, nor most. I'm just going to say a lot of men, that I know of, and it could be females too, but I'm just saying in general, a lot of men have their chair, right? That's where they watch the game at. That's where they do this at, the movies at. That's where it's comfortable to them. It's sunken in to their booty, right? It's leaned back, all that stuff. That's their chair. When I come to a house, I might look at you and say, hey, or if you say, go ahead, sit down anywhere. Or anywhere, you sure? Cause I'm a man too, and I like comfortable chairs. So, but chairs, if you got a chair, if it's a special chair, if I could tell it's a chair, if I could tell it's a central command chair, if I could tell it's in the middle, it's got, the cup holders or the remotes or whatever it is, dude, I'm not sitting down in your chair. It's good. I'm good. I'll sit over here. I'm good. I'm a guest. I don't even want to. I'm not even going to ask. I'm not even going to wish I could, right? I'm not going to grab a remote and start flicking the channels on someone else's house. Manners, man. What happened to our manners? I don't touch remotes unless it's my own remote, right? The concept of a chair, that kind of brings me back to the parent-kid topic. The concept of a special chair, daddy's chair, parents' chair, parents, parent, dad's bowl, dad's special plate, special, right? Dads, men, sometimes we like to have certain things around our house, in our castle, that's just special for us. I don't consider that selfish. I just consider that honoring, right? And so we may have a chair. The funny thing is in my house specifically, there are times when my children have struggled with not sitting in dad's chair, for example. And not everybody's raised that way. That's all. Not everybody has grown up that way. And so they would always just sit in the chair, and I'd look at them like, I'd become the big bad wolf because I'd give them the daddy, mean face, right? Like, get out of my chair. Well, this is, you're not sitting in it. Well, it doesn't matter if I'm not sitting in it. It belongs to me. Like I don't need to sit in it. If I have a car and I choose not to drive it, that doesn't mean you can just go hop in and drive the car, right? The principle of the fact. Principle of the fact is that the king of the castle has a throne. Now, I'm not talking about the bathroom throne. I'm talking about, this is my chair. It fits me. It's the right angle. It's all these things that I like. And I don't see nothing wrong with parents having items that children cannot partake in. And it might be a chair. It might be a spot in the house, in my office. Nobody comes into my office. Nobody, unless I'm in there and they're coming in to talk to me or hang out or do whatever if they're invited. But, the office is off limits. I got a chair that's off limits in general. Those are just manners, right? Unwritten rules when we visit people's house or when someone comes and visits your house. We talked about sitting. Oh, I got one. I don't know where it got lost in this new generation. I just know how I was raised again, and I know how what makes sense to me, and that is greeting. When you walk into a room, when you walk When you walk into a room, not when someone else not when you're already in the room, but when I walk into a room, there's a couple things that I feel like are proper etiquette and manners. And that is, number one, whoever is the owner of the room, I'm going to greet you. Whoever's the elder in the room, I'm going to greet you. Whoever's the female in the room, I'm going to greet you. And right down the line. Hey, I might look over at the rest and just, hey, how's everybody doing, or something like that, right? But this day and age, that man, I don't know where that's been lost. There's a lot of times when people have walked into a room that I've been in, and there was someone else in there, elder or myself or whoever, and there's no greeting, like no greeting whatsoever. Like someone comes into the room and just rolls about their business, right? Like, hello, hey, hello, right? I had to tell my son that with him and his friends. I'm old school, okay? You and your friends come up. The minute y'all walk in the door, the first thing you should be doing is greeting me, right? Greeting your mom, greeting your family, whoever's there, whoever's in the room, whoever is in your line of sight. They deserve, especially your elders, especially adults, especially if you're a child, a greeting. Hello, hi, how are you doing? Hey, whatever it is, an acknowledgement and a greeting. Okay, I know that for a fact that 9 out of 10 times that's what I'm going to do, and that's how I try to teach kids, my kids, and anybody's kids. When you walk into a room and other people are occupying the room, there's no way unless it's a meeting and everybody is paying attention to something, but there's no way you shouldn't say hi. Okay? When you come home from school, kids, say hi. Oh, hi. How was your day? Great. All right, cool. Awesome. Well, welcome home. Grab a snack. Let's whatever. Okay? But you come in and you say hi. Okay? You have friends or you have guests that are with you, kids, and you need to tell your friends, hey, when we come in the house, man, make sure you say hi to my mom and dad, period. Say hi, greet them, say hi. How you doing, Mr. and Mrs. Onealien, or whatever it is, okay? Manners, it's just etiquette. It's just, what happened to our greetings? What happened to our respect, right? Last one I'm gonna say. This kind of falls out of visitor realm and just kind of in general household stuff, etiquette, manners, unwritten rules. My rule, my principle, my philosophy is, okay, if you don't own something, if you didn't provide something, if you didn't supply something, then don't be the last one to use that something. Does that make sense? That's me. If I buy the juice and there is only one glass of juice left, then that's not to say you can't have it, but you need to look towards the owner and say, hey, there's only one glass of juice left. Did you want that, or you mind if I finish it off? Boom, finish it off. Cool. Right? But sometimes people just, they will finish off the last. And so what I never like to be the person, nor even more do I ever want me to be responsible for the person, owner who goes to look for something that belongs to them and it is gone. It's not there. And who used it last? I did. I used it all up and I didn't let them know. Hey, by the way, I don't even know what I can think of right now, but by the way, you know, that lunch meat that you buy, that's really good, man. It's nice and spicy. I love it. I love that buffalo chicken breast, spicy meat, whatever it is. I made a sandwich. I used the last of it. There's none left. Okay. Just let somebody know. We don't do that this day and age. Not all the time. Not in my household, you know, and I had to sit everybody down and say, look, if it's the last of something, just say it. You know, even on meals, even for meals, when you guys cook meals and everybody's eating, right? And, you know, maybe we barbecued and there's one burger left. Okay. It's just out of respect, man, just out of acknowledgement of the owner of everything, that of God first who provided it, but then of the king who provided it, or the queen who prepared it, or the king who prepared. Look, I'm not getting men and women to calm down, but whatever happened, that is just etiquette. That's manners. That's respectful, right? Anybody else going to finish that last burger? I'm still hungry. I'm going to get it. That's my third one, but hey, I'm going to get it anyway. Whatever that is, there is no way on this planet you would catch me at your house finishing off anything without asking first. I just wouldn't do it. That's how I was raised. How were you raised? Guys, give me some feedback. Give me some feedback and let me know. These were a couple things that are on my mind this week. Talking about visitors, when I visit someone or when someone visits me. Talking about just general etiquette and manners around the house. How were you guys raised? Do you guys go in refrigerators? Does your kids go in your refrigerators? Is the kitchen ever closed? I mean, I was raised where the kitchen closed. The kitchen was open a certain amount of time. After that, the kitchen's closed. You know, after 7 o'clock at night, after we've eaten dinner and cleaned up, kitchen's closed. Like, you can't just go traipsing in and out of the kitchen, snacking or doing whatever you want all night long. That's how I was brought up, you know. Dinner's served on the table. When dinner's served, dinner is served. You can't play 30 more minutes of your game and come down and grab your plate when you're ready. No. The kitchen might be closed. Plus dinner was already served, right? We already ate, right? All those things. You guys tell me about you, though. You guys tell me what you learned. How does that operate in your house? What are the manners? What do you see? What do you have to harp on your kids for? What is the craziest story that someone did as a visitor at your house? Let me know. At the Onealien Show. Let me know on Facebook. Leave a comment. Let me know on YouTube. Send me a message. What I want to know from everybody, anybody who's listening to this right now, open up your app right now. Make a comment right now. Or send me a direct message right now. I want to know the craziest thing that you did in someone's house or that someone did in your house. Because I know there's some crazy stories out there. There's got to be. All right, moving on. We're not going to talk about that anymore. The unwritten rules, but there are some rules at everybody's house, right? What else is on my mind this week? Let's get a little, let's elevate. All right. Let's talk about personal stuff, personal growth, personal, taking it up to the next level. As I was looking through or just kind of doing my browse through some of my business pages and some of the places that I try to get motivation and inspiration from, I ran across something that spurred a question in me. And the question that came to my mind is that I'm going to ask you right now and that I asked myself was, who do I surround myself with? Now, I know that seems like a basic question, but I want us to focus on that a little bit. Who do you surround yourself with, right? Grab a piece of paper right now. Think of 3 mental names in your mind. Write 3 names down if you have to. Who are the 3 people that you spend most of your time with day after day after day, right? You may have a spouse. Let's talk about adult people. Okay. There are some, kids obviously, but, adult people, spouse, boss, coworker, friend, extended family member, whoever it is, right? Write down the 3 people or, mentally list the 3 people in your life that you spend the most time with. Right? Sun up to sundown. These are the 3 people that I spend the most of my time with. Okay. And then what I would like you to do, what I did was I asked myself, what is the actual specific connection that I have with all 3 of these people? Right? What is the specific connection? Because what I found in my life, there's a lot of times when I thought that there was a relationship and a closeness with a certain individual, but over time it collapsed, right? And I was wondering, well, man, what happened to so-and-so? And then what happened was I realized, well, you know what? What happened was we were great. We were super tight. We did this, that, or whatever, but we did it. And this was the main connection. And even though we still have a friendship to today, almost everybody, even though, there's no ill wills or anything like that, but once one of us moved past that connection that we had, then the relationship, the influence and the friendship just takes on a whole different meaning, a whole different form, right? So out of the 3 people that you have that you spend the most time with in your life, everybody who's married, the number 1 person obviously is going to be your spouse. Oh, let me say this caveat also for my spiritual, heavenly people. And that is, I know God should be number 1. Okay. I get that. I'm talking about physical people, human beings, you got to be specific, in your life, okay, that you spend the most time with. Again, married people, spouse better be your first one of them, your first one. You're not listing them in order, right? You're not listing them in order. It's just 3 people that you spend the most time with, right? So my wife is one of them. Okay, I've got I've got a longtime friend, 20, 30 years is one of them, and I've got another even longer friend, but man, his influence on me is just impactful. Even when I just think about it, I had to pause just because his influence is awesome. So the reason why we're doing that is just that influence. We're getting personal right now. And so we're talking about how do we elevate? How do we get better? How do we do things better? And one of the things that I focused in on was influence, my influence and other people's influence. Okay. And the way I wanted to break that down was, over time, how much time, the most time do I spend with 3 specific individual people? Okay. And then I looked at the connection of each one of them. What do we have in common? How or why are we connected? And what is our influence to each other? My influence to them and their influence back to me. Hey, listen, I'm going to talk more about the 3 people, the influences, and some of the safeguards, the red flags, some of the things that we all got to be aware of when we have these relationships and different individuals that we spend a lot of time with influencing us. This is the Onealien Show. I've been going a long time, so I'm going to take a quick break, give me a beverage, and I'm going to come right back to you when we continue to elevate on a personal level and try to make each other better. The Onealien Show. Hey, be right back.
This life is short, and regrets are not a part of who I am. I will achieve my highest potential. I will push for that next level.
The Onealien Show. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for allowing me to take that quick break. We're talking influence. We're trying to elevate ourselves on a personal level. And so we're focused this week on influence. And we're using the example of listing 3 people around you that you spend the most time with, and then you are going deeper than that. Here's how much time I spend, or the people that take up majority of my time, and I'm going to examine the specific connection that I have with each and every one of them. Okay, and then we're going to go 3 levels deep. Now that we know the 3 people that we spend the most time with. Now that we know specifically what the connection is that we have with each and every one of them. Then we're going to look at, is the influence positive or negative? Are they adding to, or are they taking away? Because if you're going to be really honest with ourselves, there is, out of the 3, there's potentially 1, there's potentially 2, and maybe for some of you, you're going to be shocked and you're going to say there's all 3 of the people that I spend the most time with. Quite honestly, when I look at the connection and I see what we're doing during that time, I realize that it's kind of a negative relationship, or I realize that the influence that they have on my life is not positive. It's not adding to. When I finish the conversation, or when I finish that time of interaction with them, do I feel uplifted? And then let's reverse it. Do they feel uplifted? Those 3 connections that you have in your life, is your influence on them positive or negative? Do you have that one person that you call that's my venting person? That's the person I could always call. Oh my goodness, when things are just going this and that way and this way and that way, I could always just call on this person and just vent and just get it off my chest. They're a great listening ear. Are they a listening ear? Is that all they are? Or do you find yourself venting and then them pacifying your vent, or them agreeing with your vent, or them venting as well, and then 30, 40, 50 minutes later, both of you guys are basically just complaining and gossiping? Is that the influence that one of your 3 has? Is it positive or is it negative? Is your influence in their lives? If they list you as one of their 3, what is the connection that they're going to say? And what type of influence do you have on their life? Are you adding to their life? Right? That's what we're going to look at, because ultimately, I have found that when there's someone out of those three that I'm spending the most time with, and their influence is negative or is not adding to my life, then I gotta cut that one off. I gotta cut it off, right? That's just me. I've got to cut it off. I don't have time. I don't have time right now. I'm in a segment of my life where I just feel like I don't have time for some of that negativity. I don't have time for pacification. I don't have time for victimology. There's just things that I have found personally at this stage that I don't have time. I really just don't have time for that. Is there something that you could add to my life? Why? And be clear. I'm holding myself to the same accountability, right? Am I adding something to their life? As I'm speaking these words right now, I know someone who I've called a couple times to help me sort some things out. Not really a venting session or a gossiping or complaining session, but just, hey, let me say this to you in this way and help me make sense of it, right? They were adding to my life with some sound, solid advice, right? And as I'm going through this process that I'm speaking to everybody about, what have I added to their life? I'm asking myself, what, John, you're the Onealien, you're calling upon them and they serve a certain purpose and they're helping you. What exactly have you done in return? If they have you on their list, are they going to say, oh, he just calls me when things aren't making sense and he needs a different perspective on how to sort it out? Or is he going to say he also does this and also does that? Can he say that I add value, that I add in positive influence to his life? So we got to look at it both ways. Hold ourselves accountable, certainly. Out of the three people that you listed and yourself, right, and the positive or negative influences they bring your way, you can you not control that? You can't control what other people do, or you can't control the type of influence that they're attempting to bring into your life. But what you can control is yourself. You can control the gateways in, and you could most definitely control the output, right? So let's look at our output today. The three people we spend the most time with, right? Is our influence in their lives positive? Is it adding to their lives? That's the question that we're asking. One thing that I do know with influence in the people that I've been surrounding myself with is I need people that are going to tell me the truth. I had a conversation with someone just this morning, and I told them that I love them so much that I have to tell them the truth. And I gave them a piece of something that will help them out in the long run. But it was hard to receive a little bit. They kind of struggled with receiving it right now, but they understood it was the truth. And I was going to say it because I cared about them. I'm not going to keep watching someone continue to do something that is not positive in their life, right? I'm the one that'll tell you. Okay, I'm the one that'll tell you. I know people who, they may not assist, but they just don't feel like it's their place to say that. Now, of course, if it's someone you don't have the right relationship with, they may take it very wrong because they don't know that you love them, or they don't know what your heart is, or they don't know where you're coming from, your perspective, or they don't know your intentions, right? So you have to be careful who you're attempting to add influence to, because that influence could be interpreted. It will always be interpreted one way or the other, right? But I want people around me that'll tell me the truth, right? Iron sharpens iron. When we're talking about men and some of our men, like my men's group that I go to, and when I'm talking to other guys and they're telling me the truth and I'm telling them the truth, and we got a little edge to it because we care about each other that much, and iron sharpens iron, right? And I need that. I need that in my life. I don't need to think that I am right. I do not think that I'm right. I do not think that my way or the highway. I do not think I'm the only way. I don't even say, well, that's the way I've always done it, as if there's no way for me ever to do it a different way. Okay. I need people in my life that I know care about me and who are going to tell me the truth and who have a positive influence, who have an uplifting influence on the things that I'm doing. And sometimes it hurts a little bit, and sometimes but every time it brings freedom. Does that make sense? So the other safeguard that I have is, I don't really need, and it kind of falls, back in the line of truth, because sometimes you'll get people, they may not be specifically or blatantly a negative influence on your life, but what they can be is yes people. Like, I don't need somebody around me all the time that's yes, yes. Oh yeah, great, awesome. Yes, we'll do it that way. Oh yes, that's the best way. Oh yes, yes, yes. No, I don't. That's not helping me. That's not helping me. I could do it by myself the way that I always want to do it. So if you're just going to say yes on everything, you can't help me out and think of a different way, or just present a different perspective, or look at it in a different light, then I'm still the full-time driver, right? And many times in life, that's the problem. They say Jesus take the wheel, but many times in life, I need someone else to help me drive because I'm lost, right? I took the wrong turn. So, it's not that I always have to be in control of the path to the destination, right? Of course, we're hopefully, competent enough to, work out where our destination, where our end in mind, our true north should be. Okay. But I need help navigating the waters. Do you? Don't you need help every once in a while navigating the waters so you don't get lost, so you don't take a wrong turn? For sure. So I don't need a bunch of yes people in my life. And finally, the last thing that I'll say about influence, about elevating yourself and becoming a better person, and looking at the 3 people in your life that have the most influence, evaluating the connection and why, or what the common thing is that you guys do when you're spending those time together. And then looking at, are they depositing into your life, or are they subtracting from your life? Are they a positive influence or a negative influence? And what are you to them as well? Right. Ultimately, I want to surround myself. I want to have people out of those 3 people. I want to have at least 1, 2, maybe all 3, right? Who are already at that destination. Okay. Maybe not arrived at my final destination, but I want people that are already down the road of where I want to travel. I want somebody out of those 3 people I'm spending the most time with. I want them to have already tackled some of the hurdles that are approaching me. Okay. I want them to have gone up to the mountain and come back down. And now they're giving me the best handholds and footholds to scale this thing. Right. And they're telling me what type of equipment I'm going to need. They're not taking me up the mountain. Of course not. You're right. I'm not hopping on. We're not doing a tandem up this mountain. No, you've already been to where I'm trying to go. You're valuable to me. One of the 3 people that I spend the most time with has got to be a person who has already been to where I want to go. Because for me, humbling yourself, listening, and understanding that every path is hard. Every road has speed bumps and potholes. Okay. Every ocean has choppy waters and a storm brewing. Okay. So that's a given. But the people you surround yourself with is how, I would say, detrimental to your ultimate goal or to your course, maybe. Okay. You got the wrong people surrounding you. They're not if they haven't already been where I'm trying to go, I'm not quite sure. Both of us are guessing, right? We may be educated guessers. We may be lucky. We may be blessed. We may be very fortunate. We may choose a lot of the right choices, of course. But at the end of the day, if you've already been to the other side, then I'm going to listen very intentionally for you to help me get there too, right? Because all of us should have a goal. All of us should have a destination that we're striving for each and every day. So this is the Onealien. I hope that today we had a good time together. I hope you got a little something. I hope that you're able to give me some feedback, as I've been saying several times during the show. Social media all over the place. Okay. Even email. You want to email me? You could email me at joneal@theonealien.com. You can go to my website, www.theonealien.com. You could go anywhere on social media and type in theonealienshow.com. I'm sorry, just the Onealien Show, right? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, All of them, everywhere. Okay. Okay. I keep getting the shutdown signal. So, listen, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, I'll see you guys next week. Okay. I got to get out of here. The Onealien Show, AKA your host, the Onealien. One love. Stay strong. Look me up. I'm here for you. Later.
Are you hungry? Are you hungry for growth?
You must be willing to go all out if you want to change your life. As humans, we are only happy when we are growing.